Tonight we're learning new information about an incident that led to an APD officer, Liam King, being indicted on charges he searched a female suspect without probable cause. And we have video of King talking to police about it. Here's Leah Chavez.
That's right. Target 7 previously told you about King, how it took 17 months for him to be indicted on these charges, and why he was on the Giglio list, which is when officers have misconduct reports or reports of dishonesty.
Knowing the allegation that's made against me, I'm 90% certain that I'm going to lose my job.
Newly obtained video from Albuquerque Police shows Officer Liam King detailing to investigators what happened on June 25, 2023. King says he was responding to a call outside this Dollar General near Lomas and Monroe when he saw a woman he thought he knew across the street.
It was a consensual encounter. I got out and I asked her if she wanted a cigarette. She said yes. And we started talking.
The woman's identity is not being released. King then saying he asked to search her identity and found she had a warrant, but it was from Sandoval County, therefore he couldn't detain her. King then tells detectives he asked to search her and she consented.
The left side first, search the legs, search the breast area with the back of my hand, and as I was doing that, I seen money in a bag inside her bra.
King says the bag was empty. Then he told her he could arrest her for it but wasn't going to, later admitting to detectives that he lied about being able to arrest her, saying he told her that because he wanted information on who sold drugs in the area.
He was just going too far into areas that he shouldn't have been.
The victim telling detectives she feared for her safety, claiming King touched her inappropriately beneath her underwear and exposed a breast during his search. The second allegation King admitted to detectives was true.
I will be completely honest with you guys. I have nothing to hide. That her did come out for a second, but I did not touch it. I should have activated my own body recording device.
King saying it was after that moment he realized he did not have his lapel camera turned on. Detectives contacted the church where the encounter happened, later learning its surveillance cameras were non-operational on June 25th. King then saying the woman spoke up.
She said, "I don't think that's the way you're supposed to search." And I said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that."
In his over 1 hour conversation with investigators, King repeatedly says he did not perform any criminal sexual contact with the woman and that he followed search protocols he learned in the academy. He also claims he never placed the woman in handcuffs or gave her an indication he was going to detain her. After interviewing King, investigators met with the woman again.
So did he admit to doing it inappropriate or?
Yes.
And last month, King was indicted on charges of false imprisonment, demanding or receiving a bribe, violation of ethics principles, and sexual contact. Reporting in studio, Leah Chavez, KOAT Action 7 News.
APD has not told us if King is still working for the department.